Of the Stony Brook Media Group. I'm Zoe Busowitz.
And I'm Christopher Yang. So Zoe, what makes the headlines this week?
Well, Chris, on Wednesday, Dr. Andrea Goldsmith was named the new president of Stony Brook University. Dr. Goldsmith is a renowned electrical engineer who currently serves as the Dean of Engineering and Applied Sciences at Princeton University. She's a member of many prestigious professional societies, including the Academy of Arts and Sciences and the National Academy of Engineering, and she has served as a member of the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. Governor Hochul extended her congratulations to Dr. Goldsmith, stating, quote, "I believe she will undoubtedly serve Stony Brook admirably." Dr. Goldsmith's term begins on August 1st, and we are absolutely thrilled to welcome her to the Stony Brook community.
This Wednesday, Delta has offered $30,000 in compensation to the 76 passengers who were aboard Flight 4819 after it suddenly flipped upside down while trying to land in Toronto. The crash happened right after the landing gears hit the runway when the plane abruptly lurched sideways and onto its back. The flight attendants and passengers were able to escape out of the emergency exits as jet fuel leaked from the top of the burning plane. Luckily, all 80 people, which consisted of 76 passengers and 4 crew members, avoided sustaining any deaths or life-threatening injuries. Investigators are still looking into the cause of the incident, saying that it is far too early to decide what's to blame and that everything from the wind, the airplane, and the pilot performance needs to be looked at in detail.
Talk about an unexpected turnover. I hope everyone's flights are safe moving forward. Now, moving on to the political corner with Rafael Auza and Miriam Gerges.
President Trump says he's open to giving Americans a direct payout from government savings thanks to Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Speaking in Miami, Trump proposed returning 20% of DOGE's reported savings to citizens and using another 20% to reduce the national debt. DOGE claims to have saved $55 billion through contract cuts, workforce reductions, and asset sales. But an analysis found only $8.5 billion in actual savings, mostly from small contracts. Critics question the math, and DOGE has admitted that itemized savings don't add up, promising more data. The program has also slashed billions from foreign aid, education, and Social Security. With a goal of trimming $1 trillion, DOGE faces scrutiny over transparency, layoffs, and clerical errors. Despite promises of clarity, key details remain unknown. You know, despite the fact that we've done a lot of research on DOGE, I still feel like we don't have a concrete idea of what DOGE actually is.
I feel like I've heard and read so many things about it, but I still don't know what it is, and I think that's because it's a new concept, so we're just going to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
On to news about Mayor Eric Adams. A federal judge is pushing back against the Justice Department's attempt to drop the corruption case against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. During a hearing on Wednesday, Judge Dale Ho questioned acting Deputy U.S. Attorney General Emil Bove and put Adams under oath to address concerns that the Trump administration's involvement came with strings attached. However, Adams denied participating in any deal with the government. The Justice Department's move has caused major controversy. Federal prosecutors in Manhattan had been preparing to expand the case, accusing Adams of destroying evidence and lying to the FBI. But the Department of Justice, now led by Trump appointees, abruptly moved to dismiss the charges, leading to the resignation of 7 prosecutors who refused to comply. Critics say the move suggests a quid pro quo in which Adams' support for Trump's immigration policies helped him secure the case's dismissal. Bove argued that this case is distracting Adams from his job and re-election campaign, but former prosecutors have urged the judge to reject the request and consider appointing a special prosecutor. Governor Kathy Hochul is also weighing Adams' future, while Judge Ho says he'll rule soon. Raphael, what do you think about Governor Hochul's stance on this?
I think she's in a pretty tough position with what she has to do with Mayor Adams, but ultimately what we're going to have to see is the judge's decision. 2 of President Trump's cabinet nominees face tough scrutiny this week on Capitol Hill. First, Linda McMahon, former WWE executive and Small Business Administration chief, defended Trump's plan to reduce the Department of Education's role, favoring more state control. This comes as a result of education being scrutinized by Republicans for, quote, indoctrinating young people with inappropriate material. Democrats pressed her on potential impacts, but McMahon insisted it would empower the states, not special interests. Meanwhile, Kash Patel was confirmed as FBI director in a tight 51-49 vote. Critics worry he'll target Trump's political opponents, but Patel vowed to restore trust and end what he calls the politicization of the justice system. His confirmation begins a 10-year term. Well, what do you think about some of the controversial cabinet picks?
I think it's very interesting to see how controversial the nominations and confirmations have been going, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out with the rest. On to more local news. The Trump administration is taking steps to eliminate New York City's congestion pricing program, a toll initiative aimed at raising funds for infrastructure and reducing traffic in the city. In a letter to Governor Kathy Hochul, U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced plans to rescind the agreement that initiated the tolling structure on January 5th. Duffy criticized the program as a slap in the face to working-class Americans, arguing it restricts access to the city. The congestion pricing plan imposed a $9 toll during peak hours for drivers entering Manhattan below 60th Street and offered discounts for lower-income drivers. The move has triggered a legal battle, with the MTA filing a lawsuit to defend the program, calling the administration's action a baseless effort. Hochul condemned the decision, claiming it undermines New York City's sovereignty and criticizes Trump for targeting his hometown. Despite the backlash, early data shows that the program has successfully decreased traffic, with a 7.5% drop in vehicles entering the zone and improved travel times reported. As the situation develops, the future of congestion pricing remains uncertain amid ongoing legal challenges and public debate. That's been it for political news. Back to you at the desk.
I don't know about you, Chris, but I think I'll be taking the LIRR for all my city trips from now on.
This marks another struggle for the battle of congestion pricing in the city. Now to the international segment with a fellow Christopher Schultz.
Thank you, fellow Christopher. On Tuesday, U.S. and Russian officials met in Saudi Arabia for peace talks regarding the 3-year-long Ukraine-Russia war. The 4-hour session coincided with a massive drone strike on Kiev Monday night. The meeting noticeably did not have Kiev in attendance, which angered Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Zelensky said it was important that the U.S. and Russian negotiations do not go, quote, behind the backs of his country. There are currently no other set dates for peace talk negotiations at this time. More than 1,000 kidnapped Chinese nationals are set to return from Myanmar on Thursday, the rescue being the latest in an escalating effort to remove scam call centers from Myanmar. According to the Associated Press, hundreds of thousands of Southeast Asians have been kidnapped to staff these centers, which have scammed the world out of billions of dollars. China, Myanmar, and Thailand are coordinating efforts to stamp out these centers, with Thailand shutting down electricity and gas to areas hosting scam call centers along the border, and ethnic guerrilla groups with ties to Beijing helped shut down multiple operations. Thailand is allowing Beijing to process the Chinese victims to their numerousness. Estimations of Chinese victims currently range to 1,041. 200 of these citizens have already boarded a plane back to Nanjing. Officials say that as many as 10,000 people may be repatriated from Myanmar scam centers, with non-Chinese citizens slated to be repatriated starting this Sunday. Israel accuses Hamas of violating their fragile ceasefire deal following the latest hostage exchange between the two parties. Hamas has drawn criticism from Israel and the United Nations for the, quote, aberrant and cruel return of 4 dead Israeli hostages, which was tainted with propaganda and deception. Among the released bodies are 2 young members of the Bibas family, who gained global attention after the abduction of the 2 children, 4-year-old Ariel and 10-month-old Kafir, and their mother. The 3 members of the Bibas family were included in the ceasefire agreement signed by Israel and Hamas, but the 4th body was confirmed by an Israeli forensics examination to not be that of Shiri Bibas, despite the coffin's label bearing her name and photo. The IDF called this a, quote, very serious violation of the ceasefire deal. It is unclear as of now if the deal will be affected, but the next hostage released by Hamas is set for tomorrow. Back to you, Christopher and Zoe.
During times of such global turmoil, we can only hope for a resolution where all displaced people can one day return home. Switching focus from the international sphere to more local happenings, we bring you to the weather.
Our friends at EarthCam are showing us an awesome shot of Lady Liberty soaking up the sun, which we will be seeing for the next few days. Today will be a chilly 33 degrees, but you can expect clear skies all day into the night. As much as we love the sun, there's still going to be some wind, making it feel colder out with gusts up to around 30 miles per hour. The winds will die down by tonight. Saturday will feel pretty similar, with our high temperature reaching close to 40 degrees, and our low at night dropping down to 27 as some clouds may roll in as well. Finally, after all this freezing weather, we'll finally be feeling some warmer temperatures. Sunday's high will be around 43, and it will be mostly sunny throughout the day. The low will be around 28 degrees. We are slowly inching towards warmer temperatures as the week progresses, so the warmest temperature will be around 44 degrees on Monday. The sun will still be shining, and our low at night will drop to near 34 with some partly cloudy skies. Tuesday will be mostly cloudy, but we're just about reaching a high of 50 degrees. Later at night, the clouds will stick around, the low getting down to about 30. We can welcome back the sun on Wednesday, the high back up there at 48, the low at 30. And Thursday, as much as I am loving the sun and warmer weather, we're still getting through winter. So Thursday, we'll see those clouds return with a high of about 47, possibly some rain later at night as the low makes it down to 32 degrees. The chances of precipitation are still lingering for the end of the week, so keep an eye out for any snow or rain updates for the days to come. Back to you.
Thanks, Tia. Now to Maya DeClay on the STEM section.
U.S. President Donald Trump's 90-day freeze on foreign aid has disrupted the U.S. Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, or PEPFAR. This is a successful HIV/AIDS response program that caused a layoff of thousands of health workers and clinic closures across Africa. PEPFAR, launched in 2003, has been credited with saving over 200 million lives and transforming the global fight against AIDS. The Trump administration had promised waivers to maintain life-saving treatments. However, the program's disruption has already restricted access to vital HIV testing and treatment services. On Wednesday, a new study suggests that reserves of white hydrogen, a clean burning natural gas, may be hidden within mountain ranges like the Pyrenees and the European Alps. Scientists were able to use computer models to identify regions where geological conditions are right for white hydrogen formation, offering a potential breakthrough in the search for deposits. Unlike any other type of hydrogen, this naturally occurring hydrogen could provide a new clean energy source for industries like aviation and steelmaking. This swap can potentially increase the efforts to combat climate change. A measles outbreak in West Texas had reached 58 cases. With cases mostly in Gaines County, it's the state's largest outbreak in over 30 years, with most cases involving unvaccinated individuals. Health officials emphasize that the MMR vaccine is about 97% effective with 2 doses. They urge residents to check their vaccination status and to take precautions to prevent further spread. Back to you, Zoe and Chris.
Thank you, Maya. So, Chris, what are you up to this Saturday night? I was thinking about maybe getting tickets to that new Captain America movie.
I was thinking of checking out Paddington in Peru.
Well, it sounds like we have a lot of great options out in theaters now. So now we take you to the Media Minute, where Anthony O'Brien and Adrian Esposito will tell us all about the happenings of last Saturday night.
Thanks, Zoe. Welcome to this week's Media Minute.
So, Adrienne, what do you watch Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, I love SNL. And this weekend, SNL celebrated its 50th anniversary with scores of celebrities, hosts, musical guests, and former and current cast members all gathered to mark the occasion. They had a concert on Friday night and a more traditional SNL show on Sunday when Meryl Streep made her SNL debut.
Sunday night began with Sabrina Carpenter and Paul Simon singing a duet. The night was filled with sketches, songs, and some surprises. Former cast members Amy Poehler and Tina Fey even did a question and answer section.
Oh, that was one of the best parts.
The SAG Awards are set to take place this Sunday, with several amazing presenters ready to partake in this year's ceremony,
including none other than Cynthia Erivo, Bowen Yang, and Ariana Grande from last year's hit movie adaptation of the musical Wicked.
With many of the presenters being from the film, Wicked is set to win the Best Ensemble prize.
Other notable nominees are Timothy Chalamet for his role in A Complete Unknown and Adrian Brody, who was in The Brutalist.
Previous SAG Award winners such as Jamie Lee Curtis and Lily Gladstone will also be presenting awards in the upcoming show. I'm really on the edge of my seat to see what this year's award ceremonies will bring us.
The name is Zahn, Emma Zahn, Amazon, which also owns Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, obtained the rights to the James Bond franchise from the Broccoli family. Wait, the Broccoli family?
Yes. Albert Broccoli gave the film rights to his daughter, Barbara Broccoli, and her half-brother, Michael Wilson, in 1995. The family will co-own the franchise alongside Amazon and MGM.
I'll have my broccoli shaken, not stirred. There have been 25 films made about 007, which combined for over $6 billion at the box office, and that's just in the United States.
The most recent Bond film, No Time to Die, was made in 2021 with Daniel Craig playing the famous spy. Amazon, MGM, and the Broccoli family have not yet named the next Bond. Thank you for joining us for this week's Media Minute.
Now let's hear about the world of sports from Thomas Pardo.
Thank you, Adrian. San Antonio Spurs All-Star Victor Wembanyama will miss the remainder of the NBA season. The team says they discovered a deep vein thrombosis in their cornerstone shoulder after he returned from All-Star Game festivities in San Francisco. The blood clot abruptly concludes a season of improvement for the reigning Rookie of the Year, as he has averaged over 24 points and 11 rebounds per game, along with leading the league in blocked shots. The championship of the NHL's inaugural Four Nations Face-Off tournament was held on Thursday night at the TD Garden in Boston. Canada won the game in a thriller on a goal by Edmonton Oilers captain Connor McDavid, 8-18 into sudden death overtime. McDavid was named player of the game for his performance. After leading the Four Nations Face-Off with 4 goals, Nathan MacKinnon of the Colorado Avalanche was named the tournament's most valuable player. 1 year from now, the NHL will send their players to participate in the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milano Cortina. It will be the first time that the league has participated in the Olympics since the 2014 Winter Games in Sochi, Russia. This year's running of the Daytona 500, NASCAR's most prestigious race of the season, took place last weekend at Daytona International Speedway, with William Byron winning the Great American Race for the second consecutive year. Byron became the first back-to-back winner since Denny Hamlin in 2019 and 2020. He was also one of 3 Chevrolet drivers to finish in the top 10, with Alex Bowman finishing in 6th place and Justin Allgaier finishing in 9th. 4 Toyota drivers, Tyler Reddick, Jimmy Johnson, Chase Briscoe, and John Hunter Nemechek rounded out the top 5, with Johnson, a 7-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, finishing in 3rd place behind Reddick. That's all for sports this week. Back to you, Zoe and Chris.
That's it for this week's Media Group. There are a lot of things going on in the world.
So make sure to tune in next week to stay updated. Have a great week.